let's get away from this highway. Out here on the Lynches River, looking for a story to tell. Water's kind of low today. We got lots of birds out. Lots of dragonflies buzzing around. It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning. Got out a little later than I was hoping, but out of the house is out of the house, right? I've got my Panasonic Lumix with a 100 to 300 millimeter lens. This is a micro four thirds camera though, which means because of the sensor size and all the magic camera stuff, this lens is effectively a 200 to 600 millimeter, which is fantastic for filming wildlife. So the goal right now is I'm gonna paddle up a ways. I just left the dock where there's a busy highway overhead, there are trains coming in. So I'm gonna try to get a pretty good ways up this river. And then I'm gonna park and I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna look for a nice thicket, maybe something that birds would wanna sit in. Maybe I could look for a spot on the bank where animals are coming down to drink. And I'll just sit until either the mosquitoes or the sun is too much, and that's when I'll come back. Let's go see what we can find. Just found some nice white flowers over here. Nice thing about photographing plants is they don't run away. And I can get a lot closer. I don't necessarily need my super zoom lens for it. So nice flowers, but I can still hear the highway just behind me back there. So I'm gonna keep paddling downriver this way and hopefully get a little more away from those cars and find a good spot to park it. This is kind of a nice spot because you got this little sandbar over here, but I think I see several more coming up. So I'm gonna keep looking. See that right there? If you look at the leaf line, you'll see the leaves change color. That's because there's a whole bunch of dirt and mud on some of them. It's just another example of indicative ecology where we can see where the river gets up to, or at least where it recently was when there was probably a bigger swell. And I think that's pretty cool. Right now, water's all the way down there. Got this nice little baby lizard here sitting on the top of the water. He was running across when I was paddling through here. It's kind of fun. Another cool feature of cypress trees, the base can get really thick. For reference, that's probably, I would guess, like 8 feet long, maybe longer, all the way across. So it's actually 2 trees that have started to grow together, but I'm up right next to it with my kayak. My kayak is about 11 feet long, just under. So that's definitely more than 8 feet. Keep finding these little runoff streams that are on the sides coming into the main river here. Not something I really expected, I don't know why, but it's kind of fun to see. Okay, I found a spot. There's actually a little turkey, a couple turkeys I think just up here. I've never gotten to do any swamp turkey photographs. So I'm gonna try to sneak up there. I'm sure it'll be long gone by the time I get up there, but maybe I'll get lucky and it'll come back. So I'm just gonna park the kayak, try to get out, hold still, and I think I'll stay here for another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere in there, and just see what I can find. This is the spot right here. I'm gonna be pulling up onto that bank. So hopefully I can get out without getting too wet and messy. So this is gonna be my spot for the next little while. I did just see probably 6, 7, 8 turkeys just right over here. So I think I'm gonna try to get back in their ways. Okay, I just walked out a little bit away and I saw a deer right through the tree line. It stood still. I couldn't get a shot though because there are too many branches and stuff in the way. But I think I found a good spot though. I've seen turkeys, I've seen a deer, I hear lots of birds around. So I think I'm gonna sit here for a little bit and then maybe try to do a little walk around. Still haven't been able to get any wildlife shots yet, but just so you know I'm not lying, that right there is a turkey feather. So they're definitely up here and around. But like I thought, as soon as I pulled my kayak up, made a bunch of noise, off they went. One of the big advantages to traveling by kayak is that you got a seat already ready with you. I am gonna just set it right over here. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna set a time on my watch and I'm gonna call it good after a certain amount of time. I don't want to be out here too late because as the sun gets up, it gets really hot. So I'm going to grab my camera, I'll leave that rolling, and I'm going to give it 30 minutes here, and I'm going to go set up down by the river and try 30 minutes down there. If we're lucky, we'll get something. That's the thing with photography and wildlife, is no guarantees. I know I always want to like start walking around and you feel like, you know, maybe there's something just around the bend over here. Maybe I'll find something else over here. I swear I just heard a noise that way. But I think there's definitely something to be said for just sitting down, slowing down, and hoping something shows up. So I know I've had good experiences with it in the past. See how it goes. So all set up, it is about 9:10, so we'll give it till 9:40. And in case you're wondering how I'm filming this, there's my phone right over there, strapped to a tree. Seeing something through the trees over here. Just a little bit of movement, not sure if it's a squirrel or what. Oh no, those are turkeys over there. Slowly try to get this angled. They're still quite a ways off though. Definitely not a good shot yet, but maybe they'll start coming this way. Alright, so right there you should be able to see what I see. Play a little game of I Spy. There we go, got one. Try to zoom in on that. Nice, got a couple babies. Could not have asked for anything better than that. That was beautiful. I'm gonna have to do some research now as to why they give themselves a little dirt bath like that. That was really cool to see. And babies too. Yeah. So just for reference, that took about 15 minutes. Sometimes it feels good just to know that you're not going home empty-handed. Still give it another 10, 11 minutes. We'll move down to the river. But man, I'm already happy with what I got. That was really cool. Definitely feels like the kind of thing that you wouldn't get to see if you weren't down low, hiding out, and just waiting. Can spot those turkeys again just through all the foliage. I'm not going to try to get a shot this time. It's just a reminder that the camera will never be able to catch what the eye can. It's something else. Maybe it's not about what the eye can catch, but the experience. You will get to see some of the shots, some of the stuff I saw, but you won't get to see all of it. You won't get to smell the humidity in the air, the leaves, the foliage. You don't get to feel that thick air here. You don't get to see the leaves falling from the trees. What looked like just a bunch of trees at first quickly starts to become alive. There's a story here being written. There's a lizard over here. Don't feel like I need to be too quiet or slow with this one. That is an anole. It's a male with a nice big flap there. That's one of the crazy things about trying to film animals. You want to be slow, controlled, you want to be methodical, you want to make sure you get the shot just right. But at the same time, they may give you 10, 15 seconds, sometimes less, and that's all you get. It's like that deer I saw earlier. It was a beautiful shot if I had been sitting where I am now and it came by. Set yourself up in the right spot and hope something comes through. 1 minute past my time. I'm going to count that as a win for now. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pack all my stuff up, head over by the water, see if we can find one more spot, take another 30-minute break. Just hopefully see a couple more things come by. Maybe we'll be lucky. So far, it's been not too bad. I've seen some cool little shots. And definitely, this is my first time where I've really done dedicated video for animals. I've tried to get video of them before. I've done lots of photography, but I'm noticing it really pays off to sit still because you start to see the raw behavior of the animals. If you want them to just sit still, you can walk around, they'll sit still. But if they don't see you, I think it helps a lot more. And obviously I can't shut off my author brain. So I'm like thinking, what is this lizard doing? Where did it come from? Is it hunting right now? Is it looking for a mate? Why is it doing that? How does it interact with these turkeys that are out here? Would it interact with them? Would it just hide from them? Most likely, I would assume. But you never really know. But getting out here and just allowing yourself to soak it in, it's really cool. And there are other elements too. There's not just animals. There's this nice path right here that comes through. You can see somebody comes driving on this probably a couple times a season at least. There's a cornfield just over there that I can see through the trees, so I know I'm not too far from civilization, which is crazy because out here it feels like I'm in the middle of nowhere. But it's just kind of fun to stop and think. Every one of these trees was a seed at some point. It landed, it grew, and they're everywhere. And they're all sorts of plants. And then the animals are using that landscape to their advantage, and it just blows my mind, and I love it. It's just so cool. That should be enough for this spot. Pretty happy with what we've got. Let's go move to another spot. Here's my next spot for the next 30 minutes. Definitely a lot more visibility out here. It makes me excited. Okay, I can already tell this chair is going to be a little more interesting this time. I am on a slope. It's not like a great spot to put my feet, but some nice splashes over there. But we'll go this one until about 10:20. Man, I better get back. Sun's coming up. Getting higher and higher, getting warmer and warmer. The good news is I went upstream on my way here, so I'll be going downstream on the way back. Got a woodpecker over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in time because it's pretty fast. I've got a little bit of them there. Enough to prove it this time, that's good. 15 to 20 minutes is kind of a sweet spot for sitting still. Here comes a boat. It's another one of the big advantages of having a kayak. You can hear that thing coming well down the river. You know, I know a lot of people, outdoor enthusiasts, they hate running into other people. They hate seeing the human elements. You know, you find an old fence post or something. But it always reminds me of an older book I once read called King Solomon's Mines. It's kind of like one of the first original Indiana Jones style novels. One of the things that the main character says toward the beginning is he's in Africa. He's a guide for the African savannah for hunters. And as he's coming back from the wilderness one day, he sees the city and he notes how the world is a beautiful place and nature is beautiful. And he loves spending weeks at a time out in nature, out in the middle of nowhere. And yet when he comes back, he doesn't find the city more like disgusting or off-putting. He finds it part of the landscape. He remembers that people are part of the world. We're part of nature. As much as we destroy it or remove it to our own ends, we're still part of the world. And even big blocky structures that are not natural and feel kind of sharp are still part of the landscape. And sometimes it's hard to see that. But when you get out of it all and you're looking from the outside and you see the city from far away, you realize that the city's just another part of the world. And I've always liked that. So I try to remind myself that when I see a boat coming through, that's not just scaring all the animals away so I can't get photos. It's a part of the landscape. It's part of the story that's happening here. People come through here. I come through here. I'm a people. I do think I'm going to be done for the day. I think that was a good end shot there. We got a little bit of woodpecker action. Yeah, you know what? One more thing, and then we're going to go. Man, my butt is numb. Sitting on a slope like that is not perfect. Just wanted to point out, because on my last video, I had Cypress Knees. Obviously, these ones are way taller. But on my last video, I made a little reel from it, and somebody commented, you don't know Cypress Knees till you're out in the swamp at dark, stumbling around, knocking your knees on these things. And the ones I showed before were like this big. You couldn't really get that, but as I've been walking around out here, I'm like, oh yeah, look at that. Those will get you if you're not careful, especially if it was dark. So new life goal of mine, never get lost alone in the swamp at night. You know, even with people, just don't get lost at night in the swamp. But I think it's kind of cool. Hopefully you got a good respite from whatever it is you were doing in your busy life, or if you were just doom scrolling, whatever it was. I love making these videos. I love just getting out here and sitting in nature. As a reminder, I do this because one, it helps my mind and soul, my body, everything. But two, it really helps me to get all the facts straight, right? Get inspiration for when I'm writing. And for those of you who don't know, I am an author. I'm independent. I've published one fantasy novel and one sci-fi novel so far. I got my second fantasy novel in the series coming out soon. If you like this kind of stuff, if you like getting outdoors, seeing how things interconnect, the ecology of things, I send out a weekly email every Wednesday that includes short essays that will include my outings like this, some behind the scenes stuff, and then updates on my novels and writing as well. If you're interested, go check it out. I'll have a link somewhere in the description, comments, whatever platform you're viewing this on. But yeah, every Wednesday it comes out 10 a.m.-ish Eastern time. But yeah, that was Lynches River. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And unless I find something cool on the way back, fingers crossed, that's the end of the video. Thank you. We'll see you next time.